think opinions can be, people can take opinions as like you're trying to control me.
Yeah, like decisions.
Rather than an observation.
Yeah.
Like, you know what, this is what I observe is happening here.
Yeah.
You can take it, leave it.
Yeah.
That is what I'm seeing.
And that's the thing. People have choice of opinions.
But it's what does an opinion represent to the individual? If it represents control, then they're gonna say.
But oftentimes, men are in the places of power who make the decisions, right? So obviously, if they've got a strong opinion on something, that's kind of what's going to be, you know what I mean, decided for us as women in terms of law. And you know what I mean? So maybe that's where she was coming from, but I didn't see the back and forth. So what do you think?
I appreciate a woman's perspective. So I want to hear what she has to say, because I could be stuck in my masculine and not being able to see how the feminine can help me. But I'm always open to that because I know how important it is. So I want your opinion. Do you get what I mean? Especially, like, don't get me wrong, an opinion can be riddled in ego. So a woman or a guy could be giving an opinion based on a rotten ego, right? But
past experience.
It is kind of also about what I take from what's said.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't just want opinions from men.
But I feel like you're talking on a social level, and I feel like as having the privilege as being a man where you haven't had certain restrictions that women have had, like even up until recently regarding, you know, let's say equal rights. Let's not go into, you know, we talk about, you know, who pays the bill and all that crap. Let's just talk about what real equal rights should mean. You can say, oh, it's just an opinion, whereas your opinions for us have meant this is the way our lives are going to go. Do you see what I'm saying?
No, you make a very valid point, because if we look at...
Are you talking about men on the whole?
If we look at, for instance, history, his story, and if you look at religions, and if you look at textbooks, it's generally been from a man's perspective. There's not
a
been
certain man now.
Yeah.
And this is what I kind of want to make clear. Men at the bottom of the dominance hierarchy, right? They don't have no say.
Yeah.
They're repeating what's been taught.
That's what
it's
I was
not
just about
theirs.
to say.
So
You have adopted.
Right.
So that's probably where she's reflected. Right, you lot need to shut up, basically.
But then,
do you know what I mean?
But then, let's call it what it is. What you're coming with is rotten, because we should have opinions on each other. Like, we should be able to share. I see it as sharing. You give me your perspective, I'll give you mine.
And for me, I don't want your opinion, I want your perspective.
It's how you see it though, isn't it?
Yeah, because I could
I
just see that people are seeing opinions as control, as like, you're trying to tell me how to live my life. And
the two words make a big difference.
The realistic side of it for them is that you don't actually have to care about the opinion, but it's maybe worth hearing it, if that makes sense.
Okay, let me add. I would want it from someone who I value.
Yeah.
Right?
I want to hear, even if I don't, I want to hear what you have to say anyway.
Right.
And it doesn't matter whether I agree or I don't agree, or whatever it is. I just want to hear what you have to say, because it's information, right? So then you can use that information to be like, can I use that, or do I? Well, how can I use that information? Is it going to serve me? Is it not going to serve me? And does it make me go, no? Do you know what I mean? So for me, I find it, because I always listen to different opinions, even ones I don't agree with, because I just want to understand, where did that come from? Where's the root to this stuff?
Tells me more about
them.
It
tells me, okay, and because you can have a perception about something and then you're completely wrong, because you can think, yeah, they're cool, and then they can't.
Yeah, and then they say, have you noticed?
You made me know. You made me know I got.
Have you met those people?
So I
they
value.
Say something,
I value.
Like, no, we can't rock no more.
But I value that. I value that because it means that I can see, if that makes sense. I can see and I can learn and I can take in.
I think it's all the fine line of words.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that, like you said before, was if you speak to someone and you say, "Oh, what's your opinion?" They might, well, F your opinion.
See, I don't
I
do
don't
that.
care because it doesn't sit. No, but I'm just people in general. They might be like, well, F your opinion if it doesn't sit well with theirs. But then if you then say to them, what's your view? What's your perspective? What do you get from that? Then a lot of people respond to it differently because, like you said, it's taken away the control from it. It's just about an openness. So it's like, oh, right, I didn't get that. But it doesn't take away the fact that what you've got is different.
It's based on you, though.
Right.
It's based on you.
But what I'm saying is, when you hear that,
when that means
changes.
you can't have an abortion because of certain things, or when that means, do you know what I mean, something that affects your life is illegal because of someone else's opinion or view or perspective. Do you know what I mean? That's where it's a problem.
But I think that's where there's a big difference. Like,
Yeah.
her thing was like, you mentioned having an opinion on what women do with their bodies, blah, 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 right? Not verbatim. But my view is, they can have a view. Like we said, they can have an opinion.
It's there
because, like we
anyway.
said, everyone's
When
is
they
there.
keep quiet, it's there.
There's a difference when it becomes to, I don't feel that men should be decision makers on what women
That's
do
probably
with
what
their
she should have
bodies.
said.
And this is where we say them simple. It could be one simple word, but it makes a difference to everything. Everybody, like we said, is entitled to their own opinion because we wouldn't have them otherwise. Yeah? But when it comes to a man who doesn't know what it is to be a woman, and I don't care what anyone says, but even
but
if you've
we had this
changed
conversation, T. Can you even describe what it is to be a woman?
right. Now
Because
this is
it
it.
might
As
be
a
a
woman,
different
it's a
experience to
struggle
me.
sometimes to explain it.
I know I've got a uterus,
Yeah.
though.
No, but the point
You
is,
see what
as a
I'm
woman,
saying?
it's sometimes a struggle for us to explain what it feels like being a woman.
So the Bruce.
And
What did you say? I heard that later.
well, every woman's journey is
Yeah.
different. Yeah. So as a woman, there's going to be certain things that we can say across the board. Oh yeah, we have this, and then another thing's going to be where you're from. Things like that, traditions, like there's loads of different things. You could take 10 women from one part of the world to another and their view on being a woman is completely different. So to say a woman that makes judgment or decisions on that, and a woman, we might be
See,
like,
that's
no,
why I
they
just
shouldn't.
said I've got a uterus.
So the point is, you
Because
can't, but then as women,
I'm gonna
we
take
shouldn't be
it
making
That logical.
decisions on men either.
I come from a man and a woman. So me being a man, but also coming from a woman,
You would do
I
opinions
need what
of
she's
both.
offering.
But-
I need what she's offering.
But do you feel that it's for her to make decisions on what men should? Alright, because I'm going to say,
Yeah,
let's
but
go back
who's
to being
speaking
specific.
about decisions though?
This
No,
is
I'm
what
just
she was
saying
really
there's a
doing though.
difference.
Because when you
it's
think about it,
power
her,
and laws
her
and
thing was about men
deciding.
shouldn't make opinions on what women
But it's
can
based
do
off
with their
their
body.
opinions,
That's
right?
not just an opinion, really. That's more,
The power of
you're
choice.
going over to the power side of things and the choice and what women can and can't do. That's no longer just an opinion.
No.
That's when it goes into decision making, because really and truly, if she's saying that, as I said, it's not her words exactly, but it's beyond just that. If it was a case of, well, men might say women shouldn't have abortions, but the decisions made by women as what we can and can't do, that's just your opinion. We can say, well, it don't matter because we make the decisions. But if you have a man making the decisions and putting his opinion in, it changes the game.
Yeah, but okay, so if we're speaking about it within the context of, right, a guy gets a girl pregnant, right, and if a man is giving you what he has, right, in his mind, if he wants to keep it, he may feel like, say, he has a say. Now, he does have a say, but it's just a say.
Whether you accept it or not.
It's just a
Because
say.
physically,
But now,
the decision's gonna be hers.
but now it's about his opinion as well. The say, opinion, perspective,
View,
his full
everything.
view, whatever. He has the right.
Yeah,
And
of course.
and if we're really highlighting, like, okay, so as a woman, do you respect him? Because if you did, you would definitely take
Take his
into
opinion
account
on
what he said, because we both got here together.
because
And
when a
when-
man were to walk away, women will quickly bring him back in. I didn't do this by myself.
Now, this is why I want to actually speak about this, because for me, it's like, okay, what was she really trying to say here?
When we think about, there's a lot of women in the world at the moment that are being controlled.
Yes.
And there's a lot of women that have been controlled and raped and all these things in the past as well.
Men and women are both being controlled. I spoke about the dominance hierarchy that have programmed everyone, that have the strings, puppets, and all. That's men and women both being controlled,
But they're
both
defending
being
it,
set to
we're resisting
self-destruct.
it.
Right,
Yeah.
but ultimately you're both being controlled.
Yeah.
And you thinking to yourself that you don't need what he's offering, healthy, and what she's offering, healthy, is destructive within itself. Because it's not about you, it's about us, as you say, community. I'm telling you, like, it all governs it.